Good evening, folks. How's everybody doing out there? Time for a little Friday late night low-key Rockstar development. Because it's been a week. I have this thing. I'm off to Oslo week today, so 7 days from now. Good evening, the Egg Shark. Hello, Cincinnati. Yeah, a week from now I'm going to be in a cabin in the Norwegian mountains with a bunch of friends and bandmates, as in a group of people who are friends and are also bandmates, not two different groups of people. And yeah, then Monday it all kicks off at NDC Oslo, and then Tuesday we're shooting a music video, Thursday we're playing a conference party, Friday night we're playing a big show at Brugata in Oslo, which is free and public, and anybody who is in the Oslo area is very welcome to come along. Linebreakers live at Brugata, Friday the 14th of June. Hello, Rambling Geek. I got like 8 to-do lists right now. I got a to-do list for the workshop I'm running. I got a to-do list for the talk I'm giving. I got a to-do list for the music video shoot. I got a to-do list for the conference party. I got a to-do list for the bit that's actually like, and it's not really, it's kind of holiday, but it's work. It's working out stuff and preparing and setting up equipment. I got a to-do list for the show. And then I think Saturday I'm going to rent one of those little boats with a sauna on it, where you sit in the sauna and get all sweaty, and then you jump into Oslo Fjord, and then you jump out and you sit in the sauna, and then you jump into Oslo Fjord, which sounds like a nice way to round out the week. But let's pick up. Now, the other night, we kind of wrapped up. I hate leaving the stream with failing tests. I always like to get to a point by the end of the... Can I call it the show? Is it a show? Are you folks out? Are you watching a show right now? Is that what you're doing? I like to get to a point where the stuff's working. You know, I always like to leave it at a stable point where stuff's working. And last time I was like, it felt like we were a long way away from that. It felt like I'm gonna have to park this and come back to it. So I did. And then I ended the stream, and then I went, oh, hang on a second, if I do this and this and this, and it worked, and it all kind of snapped in and it clicked. And what I discovered, so last time we plugged in a type system. We worked through this whole complicated scenario of when the interpreter finds two numbers in Rockstar and adds them together, what should the result of that interpretation be? Should it be a .NET decimal, or should it be a Rockstar number type, you know? And the decision that we made, or that I made with some help from the folks on the stream who were really helpful with suggestions and stuff, was you should put abstractions over all the types, because it makes it easy to change them later. Like if I decide later that Rockstar is going to use a different kind of number, or it's going to use different representations for any of the other stuff, then we should just do that. And we bumped into a couple of interesting things along the way. And one of the things that we looked at was short-circuit evaluation. And then, like I said, just after I wrapped up the stream, and I wish I'd stuck around for like another 10 minutes, because you all could have seen this, and it was kind of special, is I got all these tests that are working, and suddenly they all went green. And so the comments test was working, and the only one that was failing was booleans.rock. And I was like, why is booleans.rock not working? And I looked at it, and the test evaluation, let me switch to the code view. There you go. So you can see what we got going on. I always forget to do that. I need a little thing that pops up and goes, oi, if you're clicking Visual Studio, your OBS should probably switch to the code view here. And so I had this test that should be putting out true, false, true, and it was putting out foo. And I was like, why is it putting out foo? And then I remembered that we talked about short-circuit evaluation. And if you have an expression like, say, foo and bar, you know, what should this return? What should this evaluate to? And in a lot of languages like JavaScript, the actual result of all kinds of operations. Let me spin up a browser here so we can poke some stuff. Hello, Google Chrome, whenever you're ready. We wish to internet today, if that's quite all right with you. Let me sling an inspector up on there. So languages like JavaScript, the value of 5 and false is false, but the value of true and 5 is 5. Because the value of a logical AND expression, if the first part's true, then it's the second part. And so this kind of snapped in, and I was like, oh, wow. We've actually got that, yeah. Hello, DKW. So this is this evening's compiler fuel. We've got our penguin salt licorice pastels. And it's okay, I can eat these things with a gay abandon now because I'm going to Norway in a week, so I can stock up on more. Yeah, and we got to this point. So this thing is saying foo and bar, and that's actually, it's printing the wrong thing. Because foo and bar should evaluate to bar because foo is true. So this is, I mean, this is a breaking change to the behavior. This is a test that is now, that should be true because the output of foo and bar should be true. But what we've actually got is, it's coming out with foo. So there's two things. One is it's doing the new behavior instead of the old behavior. So I think it is time to start compiling a list of breaking changes in Rockstar 2 that I can work through as I go along. You know, things which have changed between versions of the language. But the other thing is this is returning the wrong thing. This should be returning bar. So let's figure out why it's returning bar. So that test there, that's coming out of booleans.rock. But actually there, if I go into the fixture that's running it, fixture tests line 43, result.should be, so interpreter.run program there. Let's right click that, debug that selected test. So we're going to step into that here. And then we are going to, for each statement, what do we got? We got an output expression here, so we can step into that one, step into that one, step into that, step into that. Here we go, binary equals binary.resolve, step into that. Ops takes an operator and the eval method. Now this is the bit that we got to kind of figure out here, I think, is that's going to step into there. That's going to step into binary.resolve. That's going to step onto there, a.and b. So this is where the logic is. So that's just the wrong way around. That line there should say, if this is truthy, then return that. So if true and something, then if something is true, the whole and is true, so return the something. And then the thing that's evaluating it can figure it out, and this should be the other way around. If this is truthy, then return this, otherwise return that. And so that'll fix that slight weirdness. Yeah, that's fine. That test will still fail because the test is based on previously defined behavior, not based on what should be happening now. So let's bring up Obsidian, which I'm very much enjoying this week. And let's open a new vault. And there you go, you got a sneak peek of the talk I'm giving in Norway next week. Let me open up a vault here. And there we go. I'm loving this. Obsidian is such a great tool. Open a folder as a vault, and we are going to open Dylan BT. And Rockstar 2.0 spikes is probably a good one to do. And I think I've just opened the wrong folder because I'm stupid, and that is not in fact the folder I should be opening. No, it is not. We are going to repeat that whole complex folder opening process. And I want to open a folder, but now I actually want to open GitHub Rockstar Lang. Rockstar. Open that. And there we go, Rockstar 2, big old thing, types versus expressions, that's fine. All right, breaking changes. Stuff that works differently in Rockstar 2.0. So, Boolean operators now behave like JavaScript. So this will be now, I wonder if we can handle, so we got a code block in here. This is the Obsidian doesn't like you putting code blocks inside formatted things, inside other things, inside other things. So Boolean operators behave like JavaScript, which means that true and X will return X. So quote and false returns false. Because the empty string, hello Surly, how you doing? So the empty string is falsy, which means that that is going to return the empty string. No, that is correct, yeah. Yeah. No, that's correct. But then it means that the empty string will then get passed to whatever thing is doing the AND expression. It has some, JavaScript has some strange idiosyncrasies. Actually, JavaScript has a lot of things that take you by surprise if you only, if you don't really understand what's going on with it. Like, what's the one that's really, really weird? There's an array.map thing. I mean, there's parseInt, which takes a number like 1, 2, 3 and returns that. And there's parseInt hello, which returns nothing unless you tell it to do it in base 36, in which case hello is a completely valid number. And everyone's like, what? And you're like, no. Well, it makes sense. If you want to parse hexadecimal numbers like A, B, C, D, E, F, you have to pass in 16 as the base, and you get that parsing. And so it's like, well, what if you want to parse A, B, C, D, E, F, G in base 17? Well, yeah, of course that makes sense. Yeah, JavaScript is full of little edge cases like that. And a lot of the time, there's like an optional parameter to a method that makes people go, what? And then once you actually figure out what's going on with it, yeah, it makes sense. So Boolean operators will behave like JavaScript. True and X will return X. And false or foo will return foo. So we need to figure out, so short-circuiting operators is one we need to look at. Now I spun up a GitHub, an actual project. I've got a Kanban board with things in it. Let's go into Rockstar Lang, which is there. And projects is here. And where did it go? I created one of these the other day. What? Did I put it in the wrong place? Let's see if I put it in the wrong place. Did I maybe put it in here? Well, this is very odd. I've lost the project. Maybe I put it in here. All right. Who knows? Who knows where I put it? All right, let's go into here. Let's go. No, there we go. Projects 1. Welcome to projects. There's a number 1 in there. You see the number 1, right? There's a little number 1. If I embiggen that, that definitely says 1. There's a project here somewhere. Is it a? It's a classic project. Wow, and it was last updated in 2020. That is not the one I'm looking for. Mysterious. All right. Let's create a new project. Why not? Welcome to projects. Yeah, that's fine. Boom, new project. Create a new project for this repository. There we go. Hit the button. Let's use the templates. And somewhere in here there should be a Kanban because we like Kanbans. Rockstar 2.0. There we go. Create project. Backlog items. See, this is me doing my work for... Can't you look at projects across all your repos? Let's... Oh, there we go. What? Okay, this is the one I was looking for. You all totally saw how, yeah, it's there, it's there, it's all right, it's been there the whole time. Now we have 2 projects with the same name. That's not going to get confusing at all. Let's delete one of them. This one can go. How do we kill a project? That's the one we want to keep. So this one... The danger zone. Delete this project. Boom. Rockstar 2.0. I understand the consequences. Boom. There we go. Sweet. All right. I'm going to bookmark that. That's probably going to be useful. Did that just delete the wrong project? Okay. It's a good thing there wasn't very much in it. All right. There we go. You can only delete projects that have unique names. Right. Backlog. Add item. So this is the real high-level stuff. So macOS version on Homebrew is gonna happen. Linux version apt install maybe. Windows version probably on Chocolatey because Chocolatey is good. Web version uses Blazor. What else do we need to do? So that's the high level stuff. What is Flatpak? I've never heard of Flatpak. Let's look at Flatpak. The future of application distribution. All right. That looks good. We'll look at that. Nougat? No, because Nougat is for .NET programmers, and Rockstar is for everybody. Rockstar is for all humans. It is not just a .NET thing. I mean, Chocolatey is kind of... .NET Tool could be another way of doing it, but again, there's then a dependency on the .NET runtime that people are being like... There is no reason you need to know or care about .NET to use Rockstar, to write Rockstar programs and run them and see what happens. Yeah, I think for that one, maybe Chocolatey is a better way of doing it, or just, a downloadable installer. All right, so we got a macOS on Homebrew, we got a Linux version, we got a Windows version, we got a web version, we've got a bunch of other. There was a fifth thing in here. All right, I want to implement operator short circuiting. So ready to work on operator short circuiting. Have I ever published something into Windows Store? No. But I've also never published anything on Homebrew or Aptitude or Chocolatey. So, hey, I've put stuff on the web. I've done that lots. But I ship a .NET tool for timestampers so that people who aren't on Windows or Chocolatey can install it if they want. Hey, recently watched your email talk. Do you think you'll do something like that again? Yes, I will. Absolutely. It's not going to be about email because I've kind of done email. Winget. Yeah, we should put Winget on here, shouldn't we? So this one is going to be, what have we got? Chocolatey, Winget, Nougat, .NET Tool, Windows Store. There we go. Look at us making decisions to look at things later. So yeah, Dylan Java. The talk I'm going to be doing in 2 weeks' time is about open source and free software and what's happening at the moment with all these companies like Redis and Unity and Terraform all going, actually, we're not going to give our software away for free anymore if people like AWS are going to take it and make $1 bajillion and not give us any of that money. And so, yeah. No, I try to write 2 or 3 new talks every year because I enjoy conferences and it's there is no shortage of stuff to talk about. And then in August, I will be talking about Rockstar 2 and how all of you going to have little cameos in the talk. And you'll be like, yeah, this is the Twitch and the YouTube crowd who hang out and make good suggestions in the chat and help me figure out what I'm doing wrong and point out that I missed a semicolon on line 26 and that's why nothing's working. Right. You're here because of my talks. Awesome. The talks is one of those weird things. Six to hack faults. I'm going to screenshot that right now, and I'm going to stick that in the talk. So the Rockstar talk is going to be at the Copenhagen Developers Festival, which is an NDC thing or it's organized by NDC conferences, but it happens in Oslo at the in Copenhagen in Denmark. So this is going to be Rockstar 2.0 talk, and that can be the Twitch chat screenshot. What is today? 2024-05-31. There you go. You'll get a little cameo in the talk. Right, let's write some code. That's enough planning for one day. I want to implement operator short-circuiting. And what I want to do here is we can put a Boolean test in here. So I'm going to duplicate that booleans.rock. I'm going to go into fixtures and find, where's my Rockstar program? Tests. Fixtures is here. So what we should be able to do with this is, I wonder what happens if we divide by 0 in Rockstar right now. Let's try that. And so there's math. Say 1 divided by 0. Save. And fixture tests. Boom. Booleans.rock. So apparently operators.rock still worked, which is strange. So I would love to do a conference in Canada. The problem, I think, with Canada is that Canada is so, compared to the rest of the world, Canada is relatively close to the United States. I know it's actually a long way, but getting, I mean, I've seen bits and pieces in Vancouver and Toronto and stuff, but, it's one North American conferences. They tend not to be quite so... The place in North America don't generally fly people over from Europe to talk about software because they think we have nothing to teach them because North America invented software, which is kind of true. Yesterday during Tech Bugs and Rock and Roll, you talked about Mac purists. I used to be one, now I have all three: Mac, Windows 11 with WSL, Ubuntu, moving from Windows Bootcamp Mac to this PC laptop, and my Winget JSON. So Chocolatey is just a package management installation thing. The name is a pun on nougat, because like chocolatey nuggets, All right, Core Bob says we got to have a conference in Canada. All right, let's have a conference in Canada. I'm sure we can make that happen. Rich Campbell lives in Vancouver. The guy does .NET Rocks. He's cool. He can almost certainly make this happen. We'll tell him that we decided on Twitch that there needs to be a Canada conference. Right, say 1 divided by 0. Is that working? Expect. Boom. Now, why is that neither running nor... Oh, Vancouver's the wrong end of the country. We need to do it in Toronto. Fixture tests should have more than 11 tests. Why is fixture tests only running 11 tests? Because why? Let me see if I can figure out why. Let's find one that broke. All right. So... name of get files. This should be running through get files. Should be running through everything in there. List rock files, select new file path. Directory get file, fixtures, start at rock, search all directories. Yeah. So I'm having one of those moments where you're staring at the code going, I don't understand why the program doesn't work. We've got things in here running. We've got math, operator precedences running. I just wasn't sure. I've got failing tests that are pinned. That's why I can see some of them. All right, so let's have a look at fixtures, math, operators.rock. Boom. All right, we've got a system.divide by 0 exception. exception. Which is good, because that's actually what's happening. So when we step through to that, that one's blowing up there at a.value over b.value. What do we want to do with a divide by zero exception? Well, the first thing we want to figure out is we should be able to work around that, because we should be able to, in operators, let's put a new test in here. So let's copy that one, and this is going to be called short circuit.rock. All right, so we should be able to say true and 1 divided by 0. No, say true or 1 divided by 0, expect true. And we should be able to say false and 1 divided by 0, expect false. That should work. What I mean is that this is desired behavior, which I think is not going to work yet. So let's figure out, where is that? That's short circuit.rock. So operators short circuit.rock, attempt to divide by 0. All right, so what I want to do, oh, Obsidian is lovely. I used Evernote for years and years. We were talking about it on the stream the other night. And Obsidian is just like, it's one of those, it does everything right. And it's so not a number truthiness. Well, it's not a question of not. I mean, JavaScript is IEEE 754 arithmetic, which says anything divided by 0 is actually infinity, and so we at the moment it's throwing an exception, but the point is it shouldn't. The point is we should be able to do that, and this means I need to be able to short circuit the arithmetic. And this is interesting because I don't know yet how I'm going to make this happen. So we've got this thing here, rockstar value.cs. So that's doing a division, but it's doing a division because it's evaluating that, which is coming out of there, which is coming out of here. And so this is where the binary resolve gets interesting, because a binary resolve here is going to call A and B. And at this point, we don't want to evaluate one part of it if the other part of it is valid. So, and at this point, we've already evaluated it. By the time we get down to the values Booleaniness, we've kind of gone too far. And so yeah. So that evaluation there should be conditional. We shouldn't be calling the eval unless what if we do this? What if that they're gonna love this. What if that is actually a operator that takes a func, that takes a, wrap it in an anonymous function. So we're going to give it something that takes a value and something that takes a value. So that will be that'll just be func of value now, won't it? Will it? Yeah, I mean, at this point, all of these other cases, so that becomes A plus B. So evaluate both of them. But shouldn't this be a match statement somewhere? Does C# have those? Yeah. Well, it does, but I put it in here because this gives us the actual match statement happens down here. We could do it based on pattern matching. The syntax that I had in there the other day was switch based on the operator, but actually it turned out to be cleaner. But now I need to do something conditional, so maybe I don't want to do that after all. Let's scrub that for a moment. That looked like a good idea the other day, but may in fact turn out not to have been a good idea after all. So resolve now becomes a op switch. And at that point, I can generate all of the missing arms. There we go. Okay. Display scaling needs to die. No, display scaling is kind of fun. Eval LHS dot add dot plus eval RHS. Yeah. Windows Media Center. Okay, so this is where we get into the interesting bits. So and or we can wang down here. I'm gonna put them down here because they're special. Yeah, I mean with this whole eval LHS plus eval LHS this, eval LHS that, it feels very repetitive, but it's probably you know, not a bad way of doing it. I can plug these in. So binary. Okay, so not is not a binary operator, and that'll never occur. We should never get a not. You can't, like, A not B is not a binary expression. I'm going to just rename those operators. Yes. Yeah, you will always have yes, 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 yes. All right, I like that. I like that a lot. You're all right, BlackRock. That sounds a little dark. Okay, so operator switching plus minus times dividing. So yeah. just wondering if there's some way of flagging it that something in here supports short circuiting, or something like that, so we can pull these through slightly differently. Because yeah, you're right. Every single one of these scenarios, eval left hand side is the same in all of them. Except then I can't make the whole thing a body expression, because I actually need to calculate a variable at the top of it. And I really love expression bodies, but I'm being irrational. Let's implement the bit that yes, Corbob, the insistence to broadcast all your activities so everyone is awkward as best. So, it's not all their activities, it's just the ones that are going to look good on Insta or whatever. Right, so operator.and, and at this point we want to say eval LHS.truthy, then return. Yeah, we need to evaluate the left hand side because I don't want to evaluate it twice. What's the amazing, there's a shortcut key in Visual Studio that if you have selected a pattern, it'll give you a cursor at every instance, every occurrence of that pattern. Visual Studio, multiple cursors on search results. VS Code, it's Control D, yeah. So this is Visual Studio, insert carrots at all match, Alt Shift semicolon. Yeah, I did look that up recently, but I don't remember stuff. There. Oh, hang on, but I don't want all of them in the entire file, do I? Do I have any others in the file? No, we're safe. You know what? I'm going to write that down. Alt plus Shift plus semicolon. There, see? Written. Oop. I like that. I mean, that's just like a should never happen. There should never be a... yeah, Alt-Shift down is great for doing like cursors across multiple lines, but thing is then if you want to jump them to different points because you've got operators which are different lengths, you want a way of saying, I want you to actually drop one in at the end of every instance of this string. Use Control left and right. Really? Ooh. Oh, that's very cunning indeed. And home and end work. Okay, cool. Sweet. Awesome. All right, so... yeah. All right, I like it. That can stay. Scrub that. Those I don't think we need. I don't think anything external ever pulls the values out of a binary now, because the binary prints itself and resolves itself. Let me move that into... All right, does that compile? Yes. Yeah. No, the whole, like, the multi-cursor thing is one of those... sometimes it is just incredibly powerful, but it's like the second it doesn't immediately yield what you want, I'm like, no, I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. It's the kind of thing where I think you could spend a great deal of time trying to work out how to get the cursors to line up exactly, and the wrong way around. Yes, they are. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. Short circuiting. Now all I need to do is work out why it can't run why ncrunch is failing to run any tests. Yep. This could mean I've accidentally written an infinite loop. No, it works. Okay. Aha. Thank you. The grammar for this, just in case any folks haven't seen it before, the grammar for the language is defined in a thing called a peg file, which is a parsing expression grammar file, which unfortunately it generates C# code, but it's out of scope for things like refactoring support. So if you change a variable name across your program, you'll probably break it in the peg file, because that won't be in scope when things get renamed and whatever. Right, let's see. Did my operators short circuit? Is that is now parsing. Excellent. Okay. Right. Let's implement GitHub. Let's push code to GitHub quickly while it works and I haven't messed anything up. There it is. Yeah, all right. Obsidian can stay. That can go in GitHub, can't it? That's not going to do anything poisonous. Yeah. Okay, short circuit.rock, yes. Stage file, yes. Binary's done, operator's done, rockstar.peg, value.cs is in. Yeah. Okay. Right, at this point I'm just kind of motoring through, finding things that don't work and picking good ones to fix. Operator aliases. That should work. Say 2 with 2, expect 4. Error is here. Why? All right, let me check the grammar. We should have aliases defined. I'm going to move these tests to there, maybe. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so assignment is variable is a unary is and equals not greater than is. That's just a bug, I think. Right. Assignments. Why is that not working? Let's take a look. We don't have assignment support for the let keyword, so we can plug that in. So rockstar.peg assignment statement equals that says or that or All right, next bug we got there. Your salvation is pure. Okay, so first bit of really weird Rockstar-y stuff. Your salvation in Rockstar is a variable. It's a variable with a space in it. And it should be a valid identifier because it starts with your, which is one of the supported keywords. So let's get that plugged in. So what have I got on here? That's Rockstar peg. So v variable is name. Okay. So what I got to do here is I'm going to expand that thing there. So that thing is going to become a variable name. Can be a simple variable, or it can be a common variable, or it can be a proper variable. Simple variable is a string followed by... Now, at this point, there is a very specific set of characters that Rockstar actually supports in variable names, because you can put umlauts in some of them. There. So a simple variable is any sequence of uppercase letters or lowercase letters. Can they have numbers in them? I think they can. Maybe not. So uppercase letters of that, lowercase letters, letters of that, which means a simple variable then is any letter, is that followed by any letter? All right, so that works, so that wraps up that one. Then a common variable is a common prefix followed by any amount of white space followed by a simple variable. And a common prefix equals, and these are defined in here, so I can just crib them out. A and the, my, your, and our. No. What I want to do is I want to replace, yeah, there we go. Inside that, I want to replace what? No. Why is it doing that? Like, no, stay where you were. Don't go bouncing around the file like a pinball machine. Stay on the line that I selected. I want to replace within that selection. Tom the Cat was thinking about getting into coding, but after seeing this, you've made me change your mind. I've made you change your mind. This is not... so one, this is quite difficult, and two, nobody is getting any money for it whatsoever. This is not the kind of coding that people get into coding to do. I mean, it's fun. Single quotes is fine, aren't they? Yeah. All that for nothing. There we go. A and the, my, your, our. Right, let's rebuild that, see what we can see. All right, that built. Your salvation is pure. The error is in here at Let's Rock line 9. Why? Because simple variable is eating your before common can match it is why. And proper variable probably needs to kick in first, except we'll plug that in a second because we don't have support for it yet. Yep, there we go. The arrow has moved. It's now Bad Boy Billy. All right, so let's plug in support for proper variable. Now at this point, I need to Google something. Or rather, I need to look something up. Pegasus Octocon wiki. How do I... syntax guide. What I need is I need a case-sensitive match inside a case-insensitive grammar. They can be marked as case-sensitive by suffixing the string or class with the letter S. All right, cool. So actually these need to be case-sensitive matches. Yep. Which means that a proper variable now, and that probably needs to be first because the presence of a capital number should kick in the proper variable parsing. Proper variable is gonna be, let's put these in the order that they come through in. Capital numbers, yeah. You know, like an uppercase 5. Totally a thing you can have. So a proper variable equals a uppercase letter followed by any number of letters at least one and potentially more than one of that pattern. That matches a trailing space. Yeah. Well, no, because a proper variable can be... It can be as many tokens as you want, as long as each subsequent token starts with a capital letter. So that will include the... Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. We need an uppercase letter followed by... So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to create a rule called proper noun, which is that, and then a proper variable is a proper noun followed by any number of proper nouns. And that needs to bind last because common variables take precedence because the word your should kick in first. Okay, this is where things are getting seriously interesting. So let the price be nothing. Assignment let's rock. Line 27. That line there, why is that blown up? Let's jump into capital 2 is at. No, capital 2 is quotes. Look, I've got it right here. You see that? Oh, where is it? Let me get that in. See? There we go. Capital 2 is double quotes, quite clearly. All right. Why has let the price be nothing blowing up? So let's step through now and figure out. So that's blowing up there on program equals parser.parse. So there's right click, debug selected, test, and new task runner process. Step into that. Catch format exception. Error at line 27, column 1. Why? Which error? I do a lot of like coding workshops and teaching people stuff, and I travel around a lot. And the number of times I've been somewhere like you know, Germany or Romania, and someone's been like, "Hey, can you show me what's going on here?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me drive for a second." I look at the keyboard. I'm like, no, this is not going to work. All right. That's just going round and round and round and round and round. Okay, no, right. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. So the error here is let the price be nothing. Yeah, currency symbols is an interesting one. I think I mentioned on the stream the other day, I know a bunch of British people who work in the Eurozone and say they set their keyboards to Irish, because that way they get the, you know, English language date and formatting conventions and stuff that's familiar for the British Isles, but they get the right currency symbols on it. Okay. So that's just saying error. Let me see if I can figure out where that error is coming from. So if I look at rockstar.peg, which is here, let's say that's a program error. Okay, so it is a program error. So that keyword, yeah, ISO dates. I still remember the first time I saw the ISO date, and someone said that's because if you sort it in like ASCII order, you get it in chronological order. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Now, what's bizarre about that? It's nothing. I don't think the nothing alias exists yet. All right, let's plug in the nothing alias. What is nothing in Rockstar? Is it the empty string, or is it 0? It's null. Do we have null? Does null exist in the type system that we built the other day? Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Unterminated code section. Yes. Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right, boom. Cannot implicitly convert that. That needs to return a null. Should be keyword state.source. No, it shouldn't, because null doesn't have a value. I'm just capturing the keyword so I can show you the place in your program that the null came from, which I think is going to be useful for figuring out when looking at a parse tree and working out which bit of the program yielded a null at that point. Let the price be nothing. That should work. Yeah. Constant number string or null. Yes. True is false. That's fine. Yeah. So why is it not picking it up? Yeah. 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 All right. Do literals have a lower precedence than variables? Let's work it out. A assignment is a let variable be expression. Expression is a unary or a variable. A unary is a unary expression or an or is an and is an equals is a not is a compare is a math is a sum is a product is a primary is a literal or a lookup, a literal is a constant, a number, a string, or a null. That should probably be higher, actually. Actually, no, that should be null is a constant, because it's always null. It's always the same. But that's still blown up. It's saying let the price be nothing is not valid. All right, let's try this. Let's get a program. By actual program. And if we don't put anything in, we are going to run that. Boom, see where we get to. Okay. Start rule helper. First thing we're going to hit is boom, format exception. All right, let's do that again, and we'll go a little slower this time. Start rule. Start rule. That's null. Rule null equals null. Cursor is there. Scan for underscore underscore, which is leading white space. That's not null. Check for and of files. Parse any. All right. All right, let string.substring returned L. That's cool. Yeah. 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 That should, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. This dot statement. So we get into statement. That's getting into assign statement. There we go. Assignment statement. So it's matched the assignment. This dot parse literal. Ref cursor. So this is looking for the let rule. Okay, that found it. That's cool. Consume the white space. Yep, we good. Parse variable. Okay, so what's the cursor pointing at here? This dot variable name. This dot common variable. This dot common prefix. A, an, the. That should have tripped. That line there. Hang on. Yep, cursor 1.8 literal, there ignore case is true. Oh, hang on, it's got a stateful. I can't. I need to start that again. Right, boom. Run. There we go. Common variable, ref cursor. Cursor, line 1, column 5. This should be about to consume the keyword the. Go into a common prefix. All right. Yep. Advance the cursor. That's correct. What is R0? Is a parse result. Value is the. Okay, so we're good. So R1 is this dot common prefix. That's a parse result with there in it. It's not equal to null. Consume the white space. Did we find white space? Yes, we did. Consume simple variable. What is simple variable? R3, the price. Yep, we're good. All right. Yeah. The price is fine. Yep. And the name, that's good. We found R1. R1 is the price. We like that. R1 is not null. We've got view as the price. We've got variable as name. So this should step at some point into my code, not the generated code. Oh no, it's returning it's a return helper on it. It's a lambda. That's fine. It doesn't run it yet. But I can't put a breakpoint on the bit that's going to get called on the inside of it. All right. R3 is a variable. Variable is the price. That's fine. Right. Consume the white space. Got it. Parse the literal. Do we have a literal? We're looking for B. Have we found B? We've found B. That's cool. Return helper on that. R5 is a parse result on B. Consume the white space. Consume expression. Right. Expression says, what do you got? If that is this dot unary. Yeah. And unary says, yeah. Rockstar.expressions.expression. Value false. Yes, that's fine. That returns a new assignment. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a Rockstar statement, which is an assignment, which has name as the price. Expression is false. That's cool. Yeah. End of statement, doesn't matter. End of file. Yeah, 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 yeah. Any trailing white space, doesn't matter. Yep, yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, step through that, bounce back out of the stack. There's the R0 equals this dot assignment statement. Value, the price is false. That's cool. These are the return helpers, I think, tripping now. That's done that. That's fine. There. Program error. I wonder if it's a problem with... Alright. So let the price be nothing is blowing up. So let me take a look at the grammar syntax for that new let expression. Strange. Hello, Sneaky Donkey. Hello, BDSL. Welcome. How are you folks doing? All right. Oh, thank you, Hand Codes. I love my songs too. They're great fun. I've just been going through and remixing and remastering and fixing up a whole bunch of them for some shows we got. And Yeah, it's fun digging through because there's a bunch in there I made when I had no idea what I was doing, and I still don't really know what I'm doing. But I've learned After Effects and Premiere and Logic and all kinds of stuff. Um, right, run let the price be nothing. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so the problem is let the price be false. Let's try that. Does that work? That moves the error. That moves the error to the brave. So let the price be nothing. So it's something about the keyword nothing there. I put all your songs in my local collection. What should the album title be? Gosh, I don't know. That's a difficult question. Have I messed up something really obvious here? Like, how do I manage to type the U with an umlaut? I copy and paste it from one that I typed previously. Right. Okay, let me try something here. If I set this to be that works. My favorite programming language is C#. My second favorite programming language is JavaScript. I am very partial to SQL because all of these languages, to me, they solve problems that cannot be solved in any of the others. JavaScript runs in browsers, SQL is brilliant for querying data, C# is great for when you get to choose. Do you understand pointers? Yes. I studied C at university and had to write lots of C code to get my degree. Yeah, I count HTML as a programming language, absolutely. Anyone says HTML isn't a programming language, tell them that I want this in 26-point Helvetica, in pink on an orange background, in 8 lines of code, and please go and do that in C. And at that point they normally go, yeah, but that's cheating because that's not really programming. Yes, HTML is a programming language because it's a language used to tell computers what to do. The fact that it is declarative rather than procedural is not the point. Prolog is a declarative language. I do not consider Excel a programming language. I think one of the characteristics of a programming language is... Yeah, maybe, I don't know. You can't run Excel in anything except Excel, and there's no other interpreter of yeah. No, Excel is has no control flow. But Excel is 100% functional. Excel is the world's most popular pure functional programming language. It has no side effects. There is nothing you can do. Single thing in Excel is immutable. Okay, so the problem I've got is that's blowing up. I wonder if calling this rule null was a bad idea. Let's call it or maybe I've put that false. That works. I wonder, I think we might have just hit a very, very interesting thing. All right, so that's what I got. And when I do that, let the price be nothing blows up. And I think the reason it blows up is that I think that the parser is finding NO, it's matching NO, that's capturing that. Sigstack Fault, would you like an album cover? Because we can probably do that. This is way better than YAML. YAML doesn't rhyme. Yeah. Oh, crap. All right. Okay, prefix coding. Yes, I know YAML has a problem. So you joke. If you go onto my website, which is dylanbeatty.net, actually the one I was working on yesterday is linebreakers.band. There you go. You want a square album cover, you can just crib that. That'll work. If you got a shows page on here, yeah, we got the show dates and dates when the band is playing. And this is a little code in a YAML file. Yeah, links should be fine. There's nothing I've explicitly done to block links. And yeah, the countries are coming out as false until I remembered that in the underlying YAML data you have to quote NO. And yes, the running joke is, what's your favorite Scandinavian country? Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, or false? Oh, Jeff Huntley. I know Jeff. Jeff's awesome. Jeff and I got as drunk as it is possible to get in Sydney many, many years ago. Scruffy Murphy's, downtown Sydney Irish bar. Lots of fun. Right. Where were we? We were here. We have a problem. We have a problem because we now... Do these things have to be followed by white space? How do I tell the parser that it shouldn't match no if the thing after it is a T? Am I American? I am not American. I live in London. I hold a British passport. Before that, it gets very complicated indeed. Right. The other island. Okay. Can I put a non-capturing... Yeah. What if I do that? All right, that kind of fixes it. But I don't like it. And also, it won't necessarily be space. It has to be something. There's got to be a way of indicating that a keyword has ended, which can either be a new line, or it can be a space, or it can be an end of statement. But I don't necessarily want to consume it. Can you match a word terminator? Let's have a look. Ooh. Maybe? Hmm. An assertion expression is possibly what I need here. So let's try this. Yeah. So I could move null since he had before true and false, but what I need, there are going to be, so one, if we have prefix parsing problems, somebody who made a variable in their own program called, I don't know, nodule with an N, the parser is going to struggle with it because it's going to pick up the NO and it's going to think it's a keyword. So I need a more robust way of handling this. Yeah. I mean, generally there needs to be a way of matching literals which doesn't try and consume anything beyond what it's looking at. I mean, let's punch this in, I think. Alright, so why is the brave R without number blowing up now? Is it possibly because my assignment operator is Alright, why is the brave R without number failing here? What's that choking on? Example of a modern fancy PHP config file here. Oh, that looks pretty good. There is a overwhelming tendency in technology. People who have turned away or stopped using a certain tech forget that it evolves. They forget that stuff still gets better when you're not looking at it. I spend my life talking to people who think that .NET still runs on Windows 95 or, you know, whatever. PHP is very much like that. Like, a lot of folks, you know, played with it 15, 20 years ago and went, yeah, this is all right, I guess, and then stopped working with it and have no idea how much better it's got in the interim. They really don't. Right, what's going on? The brave R without number is blowing up. Why is that blowing up? Okay. Because Without should be a valid unary minus. Unary minus. Yeah. So I think the reason why this is blown up is that yeah. I read the Phoenix Project. I haven't read the Unicorn Project. So that should be all right. I should be able to consume a unary minus operator. Stick a breakpoint on the unary constructor. Yes, I can do that. All right, the Braver with that number, that's the line that's blown up. So program.cs, the Braver with that number, run it. Let's hit that breakpoint in the unary. Yeah. All right, it never got there. Hang on, where's unary? Op is a unary op, X is an expression. So unary op should allow me to plug in Oh, no, hang on. No, that's a poetic literal. It's not a Yeah. That is not a unary minus. It's a poetic. So Rockstar has this weird language syntax where you can assign to digits which are created by... So the reason why this is 76 minus 60 is that this is picking up 7 digits, 6 digits, and casting or coercing that into the number 76. And okay, that's going to be a slightly more complicated one to come back to. Let's fix something easy. Let's fix Chord Pro comments. So Chord Pro is a way of putting guitar chords in ASCII files, and there are compilers which will take this and spit it out and turn it into something nice that you can put on a screen and play along on your guitar and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's get that working, because that's an easy one to knock off, and then probably call it. Maybe I'll do one or two others. So Chord Pro comment is going to be a They're already there. Yeah. All right, this is a bad test case because there's a bunch of stuff in this file that shouldn't be there. I think that's getting its outputs from the wrong place. Let's take a look. So Chord Pro comments.rock is there. Let's take a look at my fixture tests and the thing that extracts expectations. Yeah, extract, expects. All right, I'm going to spin that around. File path or source code split on that. Hang on, what am I doing here? Is Rockstar doing testing via the backing singer lyrics? Yes. Expect here is a comment. It's just something that I'm hacking together while I'm figuring out the best way to. Basically, I'm using the test fixtures for version 1 as a kind of baseline. Let's get version 2 to the point where everything in version 1 works in version 2, and then at least I can track breaking changes one by one as I go along, so that I know exactly what's changed from one version to the next. The reason why that chord protest is failing is that it's looking for a rock out file. I'm just going to delete the rock out file. That'll be the easiest way of kicking it into. There we go. Delete that. Okay, boom. See you soon, Rambling Geek. You take it easy. Chord Pro comments. There we go. Is now green. We don't have control flow. HTTPS obsproject.com scene switcher.395. Let's take a little look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's very cool. Sweet. Yeah, all right. Cool. That's one for another stream. Right, where did we get to? Is there anything else in here we can plug in and get it working easily enough? Probably. Say true is not false. Okay, good. That line does not pass. Let's see if I can fix that, because that should work. I need isn't and ain't. And not. So we've got a unary operator on not. So say true is not false. That should work. Except I don't think unary op has defined so the test syntax I'm using here, that's not a Rockstar thing. I've just written some .NET code that will scrape a Rockstar program and look for all the expects. I'm probably going to replace it with prints, because what I'd quite like to be able to do is to have a test suite which tests all of the examples that end up in the documentation. So you could have something in here like let z shout x prints 1, and so the idea of including a built-in test system is it kind of could, I guess. It makes it very difficult to, like, what do you call the test? How do you define the unit test? What does its name? Where does it live? The moment there's no notion of modules or anything, there's no way of having a Rockstar program that's in more than one file. So you couldn't sort of have, putting the tests in the same file as the song means that then you've got a file which isn't a song. You've got a file which is a song plus a load of tests, and I don't like that. The backing singers test what the lead singer is doing. Maybe. Okay, say true is not false. That ought to compile, and it doesn't compile. Let's find out why it doesn't compile. Okay. Parse, what do we got? Start rule helper. How are we there already? Program isn't a statement, is an assignment. Wrong order. Prints need to become a sort before assignments because they consume more greedily. An assignment statement has to be your absolute last resort because it could start with a variable name, which means it can start with anything, which means you only even consider. Now let me just check I've got, so output statement has output followed by an expression, and output is shout, say, scream, or whisper. All right. Yeah, program error line 1, column 1, which just means your parser doesn't work. Sorry, we don't know why. Let's figure that out one line at a time. So step into that, step into that, start rule. Just looking at yeah, there on the screen. See that? That's the call stack, and that's going to tell us which rule we are currently in. That's going to consume the underscore underscore. That's going to consume yep. You see the call stack there? Call stack just went woo. Why? Should not have done that. So program matched a statement, matched an output, matched an expression, matched a unary, matched an expression, unary, not. So we found a not compared to math, which matched a sum, which matched a product, which matched a primary, which matched a lookup, which matched a variable name. Except it didn't. So primary there couldn't find a literal, so it kicked into a lookup. All right, why did it do that? The expression grammar says that, so the expression that we are trying to parse here is say true is not false. Now that output should have an expression. The expression should be true is not false. True is not false should parse as a comparison, an equality between a literal and a unary of a literal. Yep. I do not know Jonathan Coulton's Mandelbrot set. I know Jonathan Coulton. I'm familiar with the gentleman's work. So output takes an expression. Fails to detect the false because of the not letter. That's an interesting theory. I suspect it is wrong, but it's easy to test. So I think not letter includes end of file. So that something can end with false. It can be the last thing in the input. What happens if I do that? All right. Yep. 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 Product is a math, and math returns a compare, and a compare is a not, and a not is a minus, and a minus is a unary, and a unary is an or. That works. Okay. So what we have determined from that is that the comparison can't handle right. So not false can be an expression. That's legit. That parses. The parser matches not as an expression. So equals I wonder if that's the wrong way around. So we got this equals thing here that is going to match a left-hand side, which can be a not expression, and then an operator, which has to be an equality operator, and then a right-hand side, which is an equals, and an equals can be a not. So in theory, that should work. Let me see how I did it in Satriani, because so an equality check was a not followed by an equality followed by a right-hand side equality check. And that returned a comparison. Yeah. An and is an equals and an and is an equals and an and. Yep, that's right. Equals is a not EQ and an equality check. Equals is a not EQ and equality check. Not is a not or a comparison. Yep. Comparison is an arithmetic compared to a comparison. Yep. Or it's an arithmetic. Oh. Oh, hang on. I wonder if it's a white space problem. Let's step through that real carefully. Okay. No, that worked. That worked. That was fine. Okay, so parse it. Start rule helper drops in. And we are instantly incredibly far down the stack, which is very strange. I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to watch out for the bit where it goes, right, so say true is not false. Step into that. Start rule helper. Start rule. First thing, consume any leading white space. That's the rule. Next, look for an end of file. There is no end of file. Set the cursor to where we are. Right, consume any leading white space. That's cool. Look for a statement. Step into statement. What do we got? We have an output statement. Okay, so we step into the output statement. What is that? This is a this.output. That's the rule we're matching here. So what are we looking for here? We're matching a literal. Shout. Say. Yep. 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 There we go. R0 is now a parse result string literal say. That's the value we got. We're good. Bail out of the rest of the cases. Return that. R1 is not null. Consume some white space. Okay, good. We consume some white space. Next, we are going to step into expression. What do we got? That there is null. Step into it, look for a unary. What does a unary find? Does it find a unary operator? We step into that. That is going to try and parse a not. What does that do? That is going to try and parse a literal not. It does not find a literal not. That's null. Okay. Cursor is back where we started. Now we look for, is this a comparison? Parse result expression that list.math says this.sum steps into, yeah, sum. Steps into product. Which is a sum. Yep. Which checks for a plus, but because a plus can be, okay, consume the white space, look for a literal plus sign, yeah, that's not going to find that. Yep. So we're stuck and back up that stack now. If you watch the call stack, you can see it every time we pop a frame off that, we're getting back up towards the top of the thing. Yep, there we go, back into unary ref. And now we're straight back down into, it didn't find any of those, so it's not a variable name. So what have we got to now? What is the current state of the parser on there? That's nothing. Cursor is on. Yeah. Yep, yep. Okay, let's try something else. Program.cs, wherever it went. Say 1 plus not false. Let's see if we get a valid parse result out of that. No, we don't. So let's see if we get a 1 plus false, see if that works. Yeah, that works. So say 1 plus false works just fine. So the problem is that the... Okay, this is weird. But I wonder if there are two different things that are both trying to consume the white space there. That works. Okay, so the problem is not. The problem is the unary not operator. And just out of interest, I'm going to go into peg, rockstar.peg, and I'm going to give this 10 more minutes, and then whether it works or not, I'm calling it a night because it's late. Not... see if we can match that. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's the problem, is the not rule that I've got in there is not working in that context. Why not? So let's, if I put white space in there, blows up. All right. So let me check the state of the grammar there. So that not keyword there. Now let me just, one more thing to check is in the program there, if I do put a space in that and I run this, the audio and video have got quite out of sync. Has anyone else got problems with audio and video getting quite out of sync? Or is it just our friend BBSL? Did that work? No, that blew up. Error there. I mean, I can do the sync check. Stuff like that is almost invariably on the recipient side, not on the transmission side, because it is very, very difficult to get the audio and video out of sync for me, because that would mean latency between me and my own desk. Whereas latency between my system and yours, just bash, refresh, and reload it and see if it fixes it. It might work. But there's not a huge amount I can do about it from this end, and even if I did, I wouldn't know if it fixed it. Right. So if I have a unary expression, hang on. I got a keyword collision. Because a unary expression, so that the difficulty here is the difference between A is not B and A is not B. Which don't actually exist because Rockstar doesn't have parenthesized expression precedence. So what we've got here it's the difference between in C, A not equal to B and A equal to not B. But because we just use is not for both of those operations, I think the problem here is that equality needs to recognize is not as a keyword. We need to be able to consume that. So, yeah. Well, we kind of can use it for both because there's a certain... no, we can't use it for both. We have to pick one. And so the one we're going to go with is equality. So where is my comparison? The context is the same. That's the problem. Because in something like a conditional expression, you could have if A is not B, or you could have if A is not B. Are they going to do the same thing? Hang on a second. a equals not b and a not equal to b. So what are they actually going to do? They'd be the same if both arguments are bools, but not if they're strings. And that's the problem. So foo equals not bar is going to return so foo not equal to bar, that should return true. But foo equal to not bar, so bar is true, so not bar is false, so foo equals false. Yeah, yes, there is type coercion, but it's not going to work in this. So what we need to do is define equality needs to consume the not. So the umlauts are only in the actual source code for the compiler. I'm not putting umlauts as mandatory elements in the Rockstar program itself because some people can't type them. So I think there can be no such thing in Rockstar as a unary negation. You can't have a unary not. Or maybe you can. So where's my EQ? So what do we got? Is not, is isn't. So we're either going to consume that followed by that followed by not. Or we're going to consume isn't. Or we're going to consume ain't, yeah. Not is not a not, and not is a non. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, that comes out. The reason it's a non is that you can chain them. So something can be non true. And that means not is now freed up. is looking good. I like this. I think I like the way this is going. Yes, you can. So let me try. Okay, builds. That true is not false is still not working. But the equality should be picking it up now. Oh, you mean emphatic double negatives? No. Because, like, you want not true to be like not true, like false, like really false, like extra false. No, I don't think that's going to work. You want ain't no to be a keyword. Well, let's get the ones we got working first. Is not binds greedier than is. Yeah, there are keywords with spaces. They exist. Is not is one. We're literally plugging support for that in right now. Okay, let me see why that. Program.cs. Say 1 not equal to 2. All right, let's see if that pauses. No. Program error. But let's see if 1 equal to 2 works. That doesn't work. Good. 1 equals 2 works. So there was missing space between the tokens in that rule there. Now, the reason why there is not a space between the not and the EQ is because that is a valid operator. Because you could have something like hot is 3, the sun is 4. If the sun's hot, and it's a contraction. Hello, Kiss Killer. Have I given talks before? Yes, I have. Many talks. Many talks, many times. In many places. To many audiences. On many topics. But mainly computers. Oh, thank you. The ones who watched on the internet were very good. The bad ones don't make it on the internet. Actually, that's a lie. Some of them do. When I was just getting started and still wasn't quite sure what I was doing, a lot of people put talks on the internet of me being not particularly good at what I was doing. Okay, so back to program.cs. Let me see if that compiles. No. So my EQ operator yeah. So if you've seen the Art of Code talk, the thing I'm building right now is a new version of the language that we talk about, or I talk about at the end of the Art of Code. Why is that not matching this? I'm going to try taking that whole line out, and I'm just going to say is not. Okay. Oh, hang on. All right. One of Dylan Beatty's songs is a talk about how to avoid skin cancer. He used flat screens. The benefits of flat screens have been proved in Hollywood, whereas my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Okay, so not equals is actually gonna be not this dot equals that, but I think I can coerce that to be a Boolean. Yeah, this is surprising. So I've got this dot equals that, and I need to turn that into a no, they all do. So that one there, that's doing a .NET string comparison. So that's where we fall back to the non-Rockstar equals. There. That's it, I think. Yeah. So we say, does this equal that? We get the truthiness of that, and we invert that, and we cast it back to a Boolean, which casts it back to a... Oh, look at that. We got a little green light. See that? I'm going to put some test output from this thing. Yeah, blend parsing and failing tests to make your IDE look Christmassy. All right. I want to tweak one more thing here, and then I'm going to wrap it up for today and do some more. It's probably over the weekend at some point. We'll do this. Line equals 1. Cool. Almost. The code I'm writing gonna be published? It's already published. It's live. It's on GitHub. Hang on, let me drop the link in the repo here. That one, thank you, BDSL. That is indeed it. That works, that works. Free with the MIT license. I own it. You can do what you want with it. Don't pretend you wrote it, and don't sue me if it doesn't work. It's basically what the MIT license says. That should have worked. No IO capabilities. You don't think that would be fun? All right, interesting. That blew up. Yes, I did want to avoid them so people don't have to write Rockstar for real work. But, you know. One more time. Start rule helper. I need to drop into start rule. Values 2. All right. Skip the interesting initial white space. Skip the end of file. Skip that. Statement. Output statement should be null. Yes. Assign statement. R1 should be null. Yep. Store variable. Yes. That's found a variable called value. So far, so good. Parse literal. Interesting. I don't know if you noticed that parse literal there was looking for an actual backtick. Which I don't think it should have been. Boom, run. Yep. Yep. Yes. That's not going to find anything. Because the backslash isn't in the source code. I'm probably also too tired to notice anything. I'm just going to try one thing. This is the absolute last thing. I said I was going to finish at midnight and it's 1 a.m. Everything should be in UTC. Yeah, preach. That line there should have changed. Where is that getting that? Backslash quote s from. No, a sign should pick that up because a sign should pick up. Yeah, I screwed this up. Sign equals is as was were, but the VS theme is just normal, I think. So UTC. Fun thing I learned about French recently is that Juliet in the international call sign alphabet is actually spelt with 2 T's. It's spelled Juliet, so that French speakers don't pronounce it as Juliet, which I thought was quite neat. No idea. Okay. I think a sign needs to be is. Which means that the assigned statement, that comes out and I think I'm actually going to prefix. So there are certain rules in Rockstar which do not need leading space. Because they have it as part of the pattern, because they can potentially go directly after something. Okay, brutal that. Unterminated string literal. Okay. Say true isn't false. Isn't is now failing. So true is not, false is working. Isn't is failing. Are you using Peg just to generate code for the interpreter? Yes, I am. That is exactly what I'm doing. That should not work. Is there and isn't here? Weird. That just said it worked, let's rock. It's not throwing an exception anymore, except the test still appears to be failing. Let's see why that failed. Boom, interpreter.run. The given key mysterious was not present in the dictionary. Hang on, I just need to rethink the way this test structure is working. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There we go, folks. We're down to 70. 70 failing tests, which is pretty good because there were about 85 last week. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Folks, thank you for tuning in. It's... yeah, save that. That's fine. Code is on GitHub. I'm going to go and get some sleep. There we go. Yep. Yes. I'm out of here, folks. You take it easy. Have a good evening, good night, good morning, good wherever you are. And yeah, we'll bring a conference to Canada. Why not? Take care.